More than 2/3 of California is abnormally dry, and we are not talking about crust as in ash. We are talking about crust as in drought.
Crust as in the Earth's crust.
Yes,
Real
exactly.
bad,
Yes.
crusties.
Oh my gosh, I am.
We
so
may
gross.
be crusty and dry and ashy, but that's not exactly what we're talking
I mean,
about.
it's
here.
kind of a result of.
It
to
kind
be
of
honest.
is. According to the latest report by the U.S. Drought Monitor, the report was released yesterday and found that 81% of the state is considered dry. Officials say although reservoirs are still high, there have been above normal temperatures and lack of precipitation 6 weeks into the current water year, which started October 1st. Interesting. My skin is always telling me that it's
Drink
lacking
more water.
precipitation. All right, well, a new poll on living in LA points out what voters think are the biggest problems in the city, and they say it's the homeless crisis. Just something we actually know. When you live here, you are constantly
Shocking to no one.
reminded that this city has a homeless problem. KTLA's Megan Tellis reports.
That's right. 901 registered voters were polled by a Washington, D.C. polling firm, and the results are in. A vast majority, I'm talking 95% of the people who live here locally, feel that homelessness is the #1 issue. Take a look at this list right here. That is followed by traffic congestion and then housing affordability. Those polled feel angry, frustrated. Another word used by the pollers, overwhelmed by what they see happening on the streets around them. About 50% of those polled said that homelessness was the biggest issue, all because unaffordable housing, which just is not keeping up with the cost of living. 30% of those polled said it's a result of bad decisions by those who were living on the streets. Now, the remaining say mental illness is why people end up without a home and or substance abuse. So what do the voters want? According to the poll, well, 3/4 of them want to adopt a law similar to what's going on in New York and some other states, which is to provide temporary shelter to any homeless person who wishes to come indoors. Now, what's unclear is who should pay for this. The poll shows 3 in 10 of the people who were polled put the responsibility on either state and local officials. 2 in 10 say Washington. Here's what one gentleman who was walking out of Union Station early this morning had to say.
This is a very affluent city, but I guess people look at the affluency and other people's, the private citizens, their wealth, and they would like for them to donate directly out of their bank accounts. But I think we have enough, with the government, the city government, I think we can come up and compile enough resources to really eradicate homelessness. I think it's a problem, but it's not a real civil issue when we have the resources to take care of it.
Let's talk about homelessness by the numbers. In Los Angeles County, it has gone up about 12% from last year, sitting at about 59,000 people who are homeless on the streets. As for Los Angeles City, it's gone up about 16% with 36,000 people on the streets. When you ask the people who are polled if they're optimistic or doubtful, a majority of them say they are doubtful that the city and county will figure out a solution. That's the very latest from Union Station. I'm Megan Tellis. Back to you guys in Hollywood.